Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. I actually know one of these guys, but I'm not going to say which, because then you'll know who I got the replay from. Morefasho, starting the bottom left-hand corner is the red Zerg. Upper right-hand corner we have WonXPN as the blue Terran, and this is going to be on Steps of War. And of course, one of these guys is going to end up now Underground E famous, because I'm not mainstream like Day9 or Husky, but I am Underground E famous, and that's and what's being a semi-Underground E famous commentator being, so people tell me, if you can't make your friends Underground E famous. Speaking of Underground E fame, go ahead and bring up the production tab. The charity cast was last weekend. We've got $170, which is much less than $1,300. Not really worried about it though, because Railcoon just got a ton of money for Child's Play charity before this. So, I am going to actually hold off on talking about that. Special thanks though to Peanut Tesla, Steve-O, Pain User, Janook, and Jellers, though, just in case this match ends right here, because you've got, looks like a 11-12 Harvester Rush coming from Morefasho, actually, bringing all of his drones off the line, is just going to try to win it mono, drone a la SCV, or a on SCV. WonXP seeing the drones incoming, and that initial SCV looks like, run for the hills, going to try to get the barracks up nevertheless. And he actually might want to save those minerals and actually get more SCVs out in the field to kind of contend. Looks like taking a little bit of spare damage. Definitely should cancel that. So it looks like that, canceling that now. Now starting to build some additional SCVs. He's got plenty of supply to do so. So now, ooh, one of his SCVs wanders, gets cut off from the rest of the pack. And it looks like it's going to be kind of a hilarity fight here. So now the fight starting in earnest, but I think the SCVs have better concavity overall, and we'll try to take a look. It looks like some SCVs getting hit, and overall the drone's life, decreasing more rapidly. Still, a lot of SCVs getting taken out there, and you really have to kind of look at the battle. I should bring up the health bars. Really to give the strongest indication. Looks like the SCVs are going to reign supreme, and now starting to hunt down. I'm going to bring this off to make it a little bit more obvious. Sorry about the frame rates. I'm actually going to switch off Fraps. Maybe it's just this patch, but I don't know. It seems like Fraps has been more the culprit, according to a lot of people at large, with some of these issues. But it looks like that drone being hunted down like the poor little animal it is. I want to say dog, but it's not exactly dog-like. And the SCV, too many SCVs being drawn offline. You don't need 5 SCVs for that single drone. That being brought back to the main to do some more mining. Morefasho looks like he has picked up mining in the meantime. Overall, though, he's looks like down 2 harvesters, which is huge when you're talking about kind of a match reset here. He does have 100 in the bank, though, which is significantly more. Now the SCV's going on hostile territory, and they might want to back off a little bit, because you have the faster respawn point of those terrible attack units, the drones. So a little bit of posturing back and forth. I can't imagine a dedication. One can just sit back, use that 1 harvester lead to victory. And instead loses an additional SCV. Gotta back up now. Gotta run. Looks like the drones are going to give up this pursuit at this stage. Maybe not. Never mind. 4 harvesters continuing to hunt down. And it looks like now a significant economic lead for WonXP. So, oh, no, looks like it's just going to be 1 drone to scout. So basically a match reset, except 1XP, more minerals in the bank, more harvesters overall, and additionally he has this supply depot. I guess there's an overlord out in the field as well, but he's going to have additional supply comparatively, so 7 out of 19 versus 5 out of 10. So definitely with a sizable lead, I would say, and not enough to really call it at this stage, but definitely enough to make it shenanigans. But anyway, going back to what I was saying at the beginning here, Underground E famous. So yeah, keep donating. Again, not really worried about the totals, but I'm just glad everybody else was doing charity casts. Speaking of which, check out DJ Tesla. She, and I think if you follow her on Twitter, she's going to do some more charity casts here in the near future. And what else am I thinking of? There's something else. Oh, I remember. Guys, I'm going to try to call on you for Lifelong Dream here. So, not just my lifelong dream, but also Moletrap. Many of you know that Moletrap was both the best man at my wedding, has been a very, very, very long-term friend. I've known him since I was like 8, very, very young. And one of our dreams has always been to launch Moletrap out of a trebuchet into a lake. And we're looking at that goal and thinking that at this stage in our lives, and as busy as we are with commentary, a little bit of harassment here, that it just might not happen. And that definitely makes me sad, and I'm sure that makes all of you guys sad just hearing it. So I'm figuring, since I am Underground E famous apparently, I'm going to call on you, the audience, if any of you guys know the Mythbusters and could get in contact with them. let them know we want to launch, and just figure out if they would even be willing to launch Mole Trap into a lake with a trebuchet. I have no idea I'm not an engineer, so I don't know what the logistics would be involved with that. Mostly, I think the difficulty wouldn't be so much building a trebuchet that would be able to launch a human, but more building a trebuchet that would launch a human and keep him alive as he plummets into a body of water. Just something to keep in mind in case, because I know there's that connection thing, and I think there's like something like 10,000 views, and I assume you guys aren't refreshing this to rewatch every commentary that's happening. Although that would be awesome if you did. You're like, yeah, rewind, or maybe watch for later, whatever. Anyway, point being, if any of you guys know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows one of the Mythbusters, let them know we want to launch someone into a lake. And I think that's something that Adam Savage might be up for. I'm hoping. And I think that might be our only shot at this, unless another bunch of you guys want to just on the spot build a trebuchet for us and have a standing body of water just to work with. Anyway, back to the commentary. Orbital Command Center looks like an additional barracks, and I think it's best for WonXPN actually just to go for kind of a standard build at this stage. Morefasho getting his spawning pool up, not really aiming at a fast expand, is kind of furiously getting gas, so definitely aiming at more. And this is almost kind of a map reset here. And part of the problem for Zerg is because it is kind of closer proximity. You have to worry about some of those mid-game rushes and things like that, which kind of makes it more difficult to take that natural expansion. So you'll see oftentimes roach openings, sometimes even Zerging speed openings with some creep down the line before they even think about taking that natural expansion. Looks like that SCV going to come in and get what is almost a 9-minute scout, but these drones really want to kill SCVs. You see all of them pulling off the line like that. Spawning pool is now up. Probably going to see a couple Zerglings produced, and somehow economic lead. 17 harvesters. Well, that's not going to last very long with the mule, which is down. It should still give a sizable economic lead to WonXP just because of the mighty, mighty blades that it has on its hands. And now a counter rush. All the SCVs pulling off the line with the Marines, and I guess this is hilarity. I like this. I think the Overlord is going to spot it. It's going to see the rush, and it's just going to be 4 Zerglings and 17 Harvesters to fight this off. Really, the critical thing is being able to isolate these Marines, and this is very difficult for any Zerg player to fight off, let alone a player who's just been starved of the mighty drone Harvester attack unit. And 2 Zerglings getting taken out already. It looks like a lot more Zerglings being produced. Morefasho trying to just mine as much as he can, as quickly as he can, to just have a more padding of units to deal with this. Also getting some spine crawlers built. Also, I like that last second queen spawn larva to try to get some more larvae out to deal with this. Surrounding the queen to try to protect it against the SCV linebackers, and more Zerglings produced. And it looks like a couple of these mighty SCVs getting picked off the front lines. But oh, an Overlord caught out in the open. Not going to supply cap Morefasho, but this is awesome. Spine crawler, very vulnerable, but oh, beautiful surround on a lot of those Marines. More Marines still rushing in, but looks like a lot of them are going to fall between the Zerglings and the just drones at this stage and that queen. Now the Zerglings running up. It looks like that spine crawler is now in the field, so WonXP losing a lot of Harvesters. He's down to 1, and it looks like on that counterattack, oh, he's got to win it with just these Marines because he's down to just a single Harvester and mules. I guess with just mules, he can get it accomplished. So that's the thing with mules, is they're almost worth 5 Harvesters of economy, as you saw right there, but it still he needs to rely on energy. So, wow, almost a game reset again. Another Overlord going to get picked out in the field. Again, not going to put Morefasho in the red, but definitely going to slow him down and hurt him quite a bit. And this has just been the battle of the small economies. Speed upgraded Zerglings running forward to, and I don't think they're going to be able to take out, well, actually 2 of them red. So it's possible they'll be able to take out these Marines. Run, Marines, run! Trying to get through the midfield and get to the warm grasp of that supply depot. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. One of them taken out, and oh, man, they're most certainly doomed. More Marine allies, though, waiting. Supply depot lifts. Not in time to save anything, though. Really, it looks like that entire group was slaughtered. So another game reset. 4 Harvesters out, and I feel like I should be talking about something else. In the meantime, since I had kind of that interrupt before, and I was like, I don't even know what to talk about at this stage. Morefasho, yep, has these 2 spine crawlers. Is a little bit more, it's kind of wall shelled up. I don't know that I like the bunker. You really don't need to worry about a massive counterattack. Just get the Marines up there. I don't like that decision for the bunker, but it just shows the nervousness, perhaps, feeling like, oh crap, he's got 2 spine crawlers and I know it. Now he's just going to drone up like crazy. Anyway, Morefasho definitely not out of this game. Looks like he has claimed a Harvester lead, but obviously not an economic lead. Again, thanks to those wonderful, wonderful mules. The economy from the sky. Yeah, I guess I'll just talk about the charity cast. So, yeah, again, I'm not worried about the decrease in the number because, yeah, $3,500 from Railcoon earlier, and I just feel awesome that before, I think last year, there might have been someone else doing charity stuff, but I don't know who it was. This year, just charity off the wall, and I know 2 years ago, I think I was the only one doing any charity casts. So I'm really glad the StarCraft community's picked it up and just kind of picked it up. I'm actually going to do charity a lot more often, hopefully, with some regular live streaming stuff at justin.tv/DiggitySC if you guys want to check that out. I think I'm live streaming some Natural Selection tonight, which is a very fun game. I hope you guys check it out. But I'm going to try to make charity a more regular thing. Although it's going to be for more local San Diego charities, specifically that help the poor and low-income families in the region. So, looks like the barracks continuing to produce Marines, also a factory being procured, and honestly a medevac would be devastating. Morefasho, now taking his natural expansion, is still maintaining that harvester lead, and for whatever reason, perhaps SCVs being missed, or perhaps that spawn larva plus the overwhelming amount of minerals that has been coming off a 11 harvester base, now 19 harvesters. Morefasho feeling very, very comfortable with those Zerglings pinning in on the front door, and one really needs to hurry up and get some sort of counterattack just to slow Morefasho down, but instead attacking on additional bunker, feeling like he might be facing an all-in, a Reaper. I like the Reaper, knowing he's going up against kind of the lighter tech, not really facing any sort of units that can really cope with particularly a speed Reaper attack. Doesn't look like he's grabbing the Nitro Pack upgrade though. Very effective against Zerglings, can also be used to kind of spot that high ground for all-ins, reactor tacked on to produce some of those Marines more rapidly, and I do believe we are going to see medevac in not too long, and maybe even a drop, which would be awesome. So now the economic lead solidly in Morefasho's hands. I like that he's kind of, never mind, I was going to say he was skipping gas. It looks like he doesn't have drones in the gas. He just attacked them in, but actually going a little bit lighter on gas overall to try to get more minerals, to get more harvesters out overall, and that's really paid off. Now getting a Baneling nest. And he also has that natural expansion up, but just 2 Spinecrawlers sitting there not doing much. Reaper running forward, instantly getting surrounded. Ooh, not good. And also a factory being spotted. Going to continue to test the front door and find absolutely nothing. Bunkers still filled, which I don't know. Again, I don't like the bunkers. I mean, either the Zerglings are going to have to charge through those supply depots, or they're not. And anyway, whatever. You guys know what I'm complaining about. You know. Orbital Command Center there, starport being lifted off, and it looks like actually tacking onto the tech lab of all things. So perhaps Banshee to try to catch before an air attack. Let's see if Morefasho is going to be on top of the anti-air. Maybe have a couple queens, but the Baneling nest is in position. Also a Spire halfway finished. He's going to get a nice scout with that factory of the 2 Spinecrawlers on the front door, so not really going to feel like testing that with what he's got currently. Yeah, Banshee, also supply capped, which really hurts at this stage because, again, he's just falling further and further behind economically. So Tech Lab now added on that barracks to perhaps get a couple more Marauders out. He actually has a formidable army, and actually looking at seeing the natural expansion's got to be scary enough, but 34 Harvesters to 18, and I'm going to change back to production. Looks like Cloak upgrading as well. This Banshee's going to have to do a lot of damage, get a lot accomplished, and I would have preferred, actually what I would have preferred is these bunkers on the low ground. They're just kicking these Zerglings out, and then bunkers on the low ground taking that actual expansion. I think that would have been much better. Instead, now the bunkers being recycled, waiting for a Banshee combination Marine attack at the front door. And unfortunately, I think this is just going to get face stomped. It's going to be like running into a brick wall of those Banelings. Spire also finished, so there's going to be plenty of Mutalisks to deal with that Banshee. And all it's going to take is an Overseer past that to kind of counter it, and that's the difficulty of going Banshee versus Zerg. Is it's a pretty quick counter, and I don't know that you have to do a lot of damage to really make it work out, which usually means more Banshees, which usually means, again, slower economy, which means you need to get more done. Banshee revealed, I should say, at the front door, so the Zergling is going to see the Banshee now fielded, so probably see an Overseer in not too long a period of time for Morefasho, and also he has these Mutalisks that are just cackling, just like, ah ha ha ha, you have a Banshee, huh? Well, guess what? The Mutalisks actually hiding, waiting for perhaps larger numbers, now engaging, and need to be a little bit careful because there are Marines somewhere nearby, but 6 kills, and most of those Zerglings, really not worth it, and also looks like that Banshee going to get maybe picked out of the air. Marine's going to wander up. Morefasho is going to be able to pull back, and it looks like, yeah, nice pick off. and also able to pull back. But now we have another Banshee, a lot of Marines, and 2 Marauders, but just in time to run into a large batch of Zerglings and probably some Banelings. Actually, no Banelings really yet. Mutalisk just suiciding in, perhaps to do some scouting information. It's like, order you to your doom. Now there's the Cloak. And Morefasho without the Overseer! Where's the Overseer? Now morphing the Overseer. I am disappointed. Finally getting the Overseer out in the field, but now the Banshee is just cackling. That is going to make him definitely worthwhile. So 6 kills, 7 kills, all in Harvesters. Gonna help even things up, not absolutely, but yeah, a little bit. Banshee also gets picked out of the air and really wanted to keep that alive to provide some defense. But this also bought some time to get some of these these Banelings out in the field. And this army, okay, but if it runs onto that creep for any period of time, he's gonna be at extreme risk. And this is what I meant by extreme risk. Very carefully backing off another Banshee field. It's still no natural expansion taking from WonXPN, so it looks like he's definitely thinking about more of an all-in attack, and it is going to have to be all in for this to be successful. But now, again, way too far on the creep. Zergling going in, providing some defense. The Baneling spreading, all the Marines getting wiped out. And that, ooh, not even a GG. That is match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. A crazy one for you. If you have anything to cast, because I've been looking for stuff and that hasn't already been casted and finding difficulty in finding the replays. Hopefully of higher level play, I've gotten a couple things where, you know, bronze level stuff, which is entertaining for some people, but I don't like making fun of people, and I don't think it's as entertaining. No offense to the people who sent me that. Some creative stuff. I actually saw some really entertaining Planetary Fortress things and 2v2 matches and whatnot. Special thanks for that replay, sir. But anyway, yeah, if you have anything, send it to diggitysc@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and hope you enjoyed it. Keep donating to charity. Thanks for listening.